Yo people, what's up? Teacher Eric Lobrick here. And the topic of today's class is how to improve your English through storytelling. Fernanda Torres has been giving a lot of interviews because she won the Golden Globe, which is a matter of great pride and joy to all of us Brazilians. And her English has been getting a lot of praise, but it has been getting some criticism too, especially because of her pronunciation, which some people say it's not very good. However, here's the thing. It doesn't really matter because her focus is not perfection. It is connection. You see, Fernanda is an actress, and actresses use their English for two main purposes. One, performing in English, which requires perfect pronunciation and fluency. And two, promoting their work in English, where storytelling is the key. So her ability to engage and connect with the audience matters more than having the perfect accent. And Fernanda is just excellent on that.
And I said, well, it's a Golden Globe. It's funny.
Let's analyze Fernanda Torres' interview on Jimmy Kimmel to understand what storytelling really is, what makes a good storyteller, and how storytelling can improve your English and make you a better communicator. Whether you work in marketing, finance, HR, or management. You ready? Let's dive in. Storytelling is the ability to engage your audience, helping them focus on and remember the information that you want to share. Think about it. We tend to remember stories much more vividly than simply raw facts. Storytelling is also a powerful way to connect people at the emotional level. Whether it's a TED Talk or a casual conversation, good storytellers have the ability to build rapport and captivate their audience. That's why many TED Talks start either with a joke.
When I was 27 years old, I left a very demanding job in management consulting for a job that was even more demanding, teaching.
Or a personal story.
So in college, I was a government major.
To make the speaker more relatable or memorable. And Fernanda knows that. So much so that at the moment she sits down, she starts telling a story. She already had the story she wanted to tell, which is a very intelligent strategy. So the two most important elements in storytelling are, number one, how you organize your information, how you select the information that your audience is interested in. Here, in this case, it is the setting, the characters, and the event.
We're here in West Hollywood, and then my husband suddenly at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, he comes to the room in his underpants with his phone like, and says, they're saying to evacuate now.
And number two, the flow. In other words, how you deliver the information.
So we're like packing, and we left, and I didn't have time to deliver the award, that it's very heavy, to the producer who was going back to Brazil. Now I'm carrying it with me. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you can kill someone.
It is very heavy.
It is heavy.
Well, so let's take a look at the two characters in Fernanda's story. The first one is she, herself, and the second one is her husband in his underpants. Another important element in the story is the award, which can also be considered a character. And the setting is California during the fires. And these are the perfect elements because everybody wants to hear about the award. That's what she's there for. And everybody is familiar with that setting. It was happening at that very week. And the characters are in a very funny situation. Now, here's something interesting that she did. She used a symbol, an image, to emphasize how heavy the award was.
And I mean, you can kill someone.
It is very heavy.
It is heavy.
She evoked an image through a joke, and you saw the result. Symbols are always very effective. Now, the most common symbols that you can use in English are idioms or idiomatic expressions.
I was all thumbs. Mary's clothes fit her like a glove. Mary let her hair down and ate like a horse.
So, for example, instead of saying that something is easy, you say that something is a piece of cake. Communicating through idioms is something that really does help you connect with the listener. Let's talk about the flow. Flow means to give due importance to each part of the story. And to do so, you have to visualize your story in parts. Action, reaction.
They are saying to evacuate now. We left and I didn't have time to deliver the award.
Setup and payoff. She started telling the story and then she built it up, and then she wrapped it up, finish.
Now I'm carrying it with me. You can kill someone.
It is very heavy.
It is heavy.
That's it. She could have stopped there. The takeaway here is not that every story needs to have a joke, because not every communication has to be funny. The important thing is that after you build up, you need to deliver a result, a sense of closing. It doesn't need to be a joke. It can be a question, a conclusion, or a solution. Imagine you're making a business presentation. So you build up, and then you ask a question. Or you present your story and then the PowerPoint presentation. After you reach the end, then you go to the next sequence. And then you're going to repeat the same thing all over again. This gives control to your speech. And it makes it easier for you to get both the vocabulary and the grammar right too. And then you can continue with the next sequence of the story. In this case, she continues by telling how hard it is to travel through airport security carrying a Golden Globe.
So they told me, don't put in the suitcase that because they can think it's a bomb.
Oh.
Take it with you in your handbags. I have been carrying it.
All the elements of this story are so well connected, you can make a Hollywood movie out of it. This summer, a woman will prove that the hardest thing to carry is the weight of fame. Fernanda Torres, Trophy Troubles, coming soon. Now, I would like to point out one mistake that she made. Okay, so this part here got very confusing.
And I was like leaving to New York. And of course, it was chosen. No, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I had this heavy whatever. And
this part here got confusing because she didn't do something that she did brilliantly in the first part of her story, which was setting the scene. Imagine you're watching Game of Thrones and you have Tyrion and Cersei talking. And then the conversation ends. And then you have Stannis Baratheon talking in his castle in a completely different place. Before you show those two people talking, you need to show where they are. So you have to show some images of Dragonlance, which is where Stannis lives. And then you cut into the conversation. That, in visual storytelling, is called an establishing shot. It is the way you set the scene. You do that too when you are talking. And this is something that Fernanda failed to do here. She should have mentioned the airport, the luggage inspection, and the TSA agent in that order. And then what happened? Her luggage getting picked out. It would have sounded something like this. When I was at the airport leaving New York, I was at the luggage inspection area and the TSA decided to pick out my bag because of course, he decided to pick out my bag. So look, guys, I'm not doing this to be picky on Fernanda's English. I'm just using it as an example of what happens when you forget important elements in the storytelling process. So what grade would I give to Fernanda's capabilities of storytelling in English? A solid 10. She accomplished what she set out to do. She was able to create a very deep connection with the audience, even though her pronunciation was not perfect. I'm going to give you a 10, Fernanda, even though you forgot to set the scene there. I'm going to give you a 10 because, as you said, it was a roller coaster ride, crazy week, evacuating, fires. I know it's a lot. So I'll look the other way and let that one slide, okay? And also, you won a Golden Globe, girl. Congratulations. So what do you think? Did this video help you in any way? If so, I would ask you to like it and share it with people whom you think would benefit from this message. I would also like to hear your opinion about what other subject we should talk next here on the channel. Thank you so much for your attention. Cheers.